प्लास्टिक की मैम?
हाँ, whatever, plastic, rubber, it is not the matter. Just you have to take the measurement, and for taking measurements, meter scale will be required. And even I have given you one suggestion: if meter scale is not available, you have to have the scale with which you can have the measurement related to height of the hall. Okay. So if the scale is not with you, I'll give you 2 minutes time. You can see in the your house, and if something is available, you can take for the measurement. Okay. So today two practicals, as I said, we are going to see. In one you have to take the actual measurements, and in one practical you are going to have the simulation related measurements. Okay. So you are going to have both the fields, okay, actual view as well as virtual view of the practicals. Okay. So first, related to the first practical, is the screen visible to all of you?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So according
Yes,
to
ma'am.
your engineering physics lab manual, the aim of the practical is to determine the reverberation time of engineering physics laboratory. But as you are at your home right now, what will be the aim of today's practical? You are going to determine reverberation time of the room where you are present right now. Okay. Of course, you are attending lecture, means you will be in the closed environment, you will be at your house, you will be in your study room. So whatever is the room where you are present right now, you people are going to calculate reverberation time of that particular room. Okay, that will be the aim of the practical. Okay. So this is the table you will see in the lab manual. You have to satisfy the condition related to level 3 to achieve the complete marks. Reverberation, we have seen in the theory classes. Reverberation is nothing but the persistence of sound in a room due to multiple reflections even when source stops. So that is nothing but the reverberation. Then time taken by a sound to fall from its average intensity to inaudibility is called as reverberation time of the room. And whatever is the reverberation time, that is measured in the unit seconds. So whatever answer today you people are going to get, the unit will be second. Okay. So this is the requirement. Either have such kind of scale or such kind of scale. If both the scales are not available to you, then you can have your normal ruler. And if ruler is also not available, small ruler which is having 15 centimeter maximum value, that also you can take in consideration. You are having something long rope or some thread kind of thing with which the measurement will be possible. Okay. So what kind of measurement is required in this particular practical? You have to calculate the reverberation time, and we have seen to calculate reverberation time, the formula given by Sabine is as point T is equal to 0.161 V upon A, where V is nothing but total volume of the hall, A is nothing but total absorption in the hall. To calculate this capital A, again you need to see what is the absorption coefficient and what is the surface area of the object. So by taking summation of absorption coefficient multiplied by surface area, you can get total absorption in the hall. Okay. So is there any doubt up to this?
No, ma'am.
In between say something, because I'll get to know that we are connected in the meeting. If you don't say anything, then I can't get that you are present. Is my network is connecting our meeting or not? Okay.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So suppose whatever room you are present right now, it will have 4 walls, then 1 door, 1 window. Okay, so that will be the basic arrangement related to any room. Of course, this side and this side there will be a wall, but here in the image it is not taken. We will consider, of course, at this point and this point a wall is there. Okay. Next to that,
Okay, ma'am.
how, yes, thank you, Akib.
Yes.
So what we are going to do over here, first we are going to calculate the volume of the hall. So now you people know how to measure volume of the hall. What is the formula? Yes, what is the formula?
Length into breadth into
Length into breadth into
L
height.
into breadth into height. Okay, so length into breadth into height. So first you people are going to measure length of the hall with the help of your meter scale. Then you have to measure breadth of the hall, and then of course you have to measure height of the hall. See if height of your room is quite huge, take help of people in your house, or take some table or chair for the measurement of height. But you have to take the height anyhow, otherwise you will not going to get the final answer. Okay, so your task will be, for today's practical, you have to take length, breadth and height of the room where you are present right now. And
Okay, ma'am.
by taking all that three values, you can get the volume, that is LPH in multiplication. It will give you volume and its unit will be meter cube. Okay. Next, whatever V after calculation, that will satisfy the numerator of the Sabines formula, because formula is T is equal to 0.161 V upon A. So V, by calculating LBH, you can get the numerator value. Now to get the denominator value, what you need to do, you have to take the total absorption in the hall. So how to take total absorption in the hall? For that, formula is given. Capital A is the total absorption, that is equal to summation of A1S1, A2S2, A3S3 up to infinity. So whatever objects are there, you have to consider their absorption coefficient and surface area. So for any room, of course, wherever you are present right now, it will constitute, that particular environment will constitute n number of objects. So what we are going to consider for our practical is that we are going to consider surface area of the floor. Okay, so write down in your notebook, after taking LBH values, first you have to take length of the hall, breadth of the hall, height of the hall. Next, what you are going to measure? You are going to measure surface area of the floor. Okay, so that will be the fourth measurement you people are going to take. How to calculate surface area of the floor? In theory, already some students have mentioned, but again I would like to ask you how to calculate surface area.
Length into breadth.
Yes. Length of the hall and breadth of the hall. So already that measurements you people have done for the volume. So if you know the volume, from the constituent parameters you can take the surface area of the floor. Okay, so here just you have to take L into B, that will give you surface area of the floor. Then surface area of the ceiling, value will be same, L into B. Okay, so same value you are going to put for the two times, surface area of floor and surface area of the ceiling. Next to that, you have to take surface area of all the walls present in the room. For that, what you could do, you can number all the walls present over there. Say the wall which is having window, we are going to say that wall as wall 1. Then another which is having door, we are going to call it as a wall number 2. Then remaining wall 3 and wall number 4. Okay, so if I am interested to calculate surface area of the wall number 1, what will be the formula? Surface area of wall number 1.
breadth into height.
Yes. Surface area of wall 1 will be breadth into height. But here you can see a window is there. So you have to subtract the surface area of the window if window is open completely. For your convenience, I'll suggest that open the window and then you can have such kind of formula B into H minus surface area of window. Okay. So if window is open, that part will be neglected from the total surface area and you will have this particular formula. Okay. So if I talk about wall number 2, what will be the surface area?
Length into height.
That will be length into height. Okay. So again you will see door is there. So if the door is open, you have to subtract the surface area of the door. Okay. So already you will have the length and height. So just calculate L into H parameter, then subtract the surface area of the door. Okay. Next to that, for wall number 3, again the formula will be same as compared as like your wall number 1. So that will be B into H. If the wall is plain wall, of course you can take B into H as it is. And for wall number 4, as this wall is parallel to wall number 2, so the formula will be as like wall 2. Okay, so L into H will be the formula for wall number 4. So these are the 4 measurements with earlier 2. So 6 surface areas you people are going to calculate for the performance of this practical. And all entities will be in the unit meter square because you are taking 2 parameters for the calculations. Whatever measurements you are going to take, that should be in the meter. Okay, if meter related entities are there, then it will be convenient to you to have the time period in the second. So don't get confused in the units. Although if you are having the longer scale which is having inch and centimeter related quantities, even though both quantities are present, have the measurements with meter scale only by considering unit meter only. Okay. After taking surface areas, of course we know to calculate total absorption we have to multiply surface area with absorption coefficients. Okay. So whatever absorption coefficients of different materials are there, some of the materials are provided over here, like whatever walls, plastered walls we are having at our home, they are having the absorption coefficient 0.03. So that you can take for 4 walls. Then for floor and ceiling, the absorption coefficients are 0.01 and 0.04 respectively. Okay. Here some other quantities are also provided, but of course soft board or wooden door will not, soft board will not be at your home, so you need not to consider this particular value. If your door is closed, in that case you have to consider the wooden door value. Then if curtains are there, you have to take the surface area of the curtain and then its absorption coefficient is 0.2, that you have to multiply with earlier factor. If you are interested to take the surface area of the person, then its absorption coefficient is provided on the table. If you don't want to consider the curtain or person, then not a problem. You can consider only floor, ceiling and 4 walls. That is also sufficient for the performance of the practical. Okay. So by taking various surface areas and their absorption coefficient, you can take the total absorption in the hall, and at last with the help of formula you have to write what is the reverberation time of your room. Okay, and whatever will be the value, that should be in the second. Next, most of the time student miss this particular part. Whatever value you have get over here, from that you have to say the reverberation time of a hall is more, less or optimum. Like you people know, in theory lecture we have seen for lecture halls or for say rooms of our house, a particular amount of reverberation time is essential. So whatever reverberation time you have calculated, is that range in more category, is that one is optimum for the area or is that less for the area, that you have to mention. Okay, so if you get the optimum value, tick yes over the optimum. If the value is less, you have to tick the less value. Okay, so that will be the procedure for the performance of the practical. Of course, I have posted the questions related to this practical on the Genomio site, so you can refer that questions for the practicals. Is there any doubt in this particular practical?
No, no.
Okay, so you people now can take measurements with respect to length, breadth, height and all surface areas and absorption coefficient. So I can confirm that. Okay, so before going towards actual measurements, we will discuss the second practical also, and then I'll give you time to perform the simulation and to have the measurements in actual. Okay, so very quickly, this whatever is the second practical that we are going to talk about. Okay, so in the lab manual you will see this particular practical. Here you have to calculate the specific rotation of optically active substance, that is sugar solution, by using Lorentz half-shade polarimeter. So how is the construction of Lorentz half-shade polarimeter and all, that we have seen in the theory part. Okay, to calculate specific rotation, we know this is the formula. S is equal to tan theta upon LC. So who will tell what is theta, what is L and what is C? Yes.
And theta is the angle with the y-axis made
Okay.
when the light axis bends after passing through the polarimeter.
Okay. Basically, we have seen the optical activity whenever polarized light passes through optically active substance, there will be change in its rotation. Okay, or there will be change in its angle of propagation. So that angle of rotation is nothing but this theta. Then what will be the L? Array?
That length of the polarimeter.
Yes. As we are saying, here we are going to keep the sugar solution in particular tube. So whatever length of that tube is, that will be L, and C will be the concentration of the solution.
Question.
Yes. And related to the diagram, this particular diagram we have seen in the theory class. I have mentioned what is this S, P, H, T, A and E. Okay, so who will tell how is the arrangement?
Ma'am, S is the source.
And S is the source.
L
S
is the
is the
lens.
source of light.
P is the polarizer.
P is the polarizer. H. This is the main part of the instrument. What is this H? हे बाकीचे स्टुडंट्स आहेत ना का झोपलेले आहेत, कारण की मला फक्त एक दोन मुलांचेच आवाज येतात. हाँ है तो फिर थोड़ा कुछ तो बोलो ना. ये सब तो हमने देखा है ऑलरेडी. वी हैव सीन ऑल दैट थिंग्स. Just we are recalling all that things. So you have to give the answer. What is this H? In the title only you will get the name.
Right?
Who is saying height?
No, ma'am. Sorry.
It is a half shaded plate. We are talking about Lorentz half shade polarimeter. Okay. So whatever half shade we are talking, this is nothing but the half shaded plate. You can see over here certain lines are made on the half portion and half portion is the vacant one. Okay, so half portion is covered with some material, say silver, and half portion is a glass material. So that I have already mentioned. So H stands for half shaded plate. Okay. Next T is the tube containing solution. What will be the A?
Optically active solution.
Analyzer.
A is the analyzer, and basically
Analyzer.
yes, as a polarizer and as an analyzer we can use Nicol prism. Okay, because in the discussion of Nicol prism we have seen to convert the unpolarized light into polarized light, Nicol prism can be used. At the same time, to perform the analysis related to the optical rotation, analyzers are taken into consideration. Okay, and whatever is happening over here with respect to optical activity, that is seen with the help of telescope. So this is the theoretical diagram of the conceptual diagram of the Lorentz half shade polarimeter. Here you can see how will be the pattern over here. Whatever is the source, that source will emit highly directed light waves. When that highly directed light waves passes through polarizer, it will give you polarized light. When that polarized light passes through half shaded plate, the reflection of that half shaded plate is observed at the eyepiece of the telescope. Okay, but before going towards the eyepiece, that light is passing through optically active substance. So whenever that polarized light passes through optically active substance, there will be some amount of rotation in its propagation. So that rotation we have to measure with the help of polarimeter. So if the angle of rotation is known, concentration is known, and length of the tube is known, then you can calculate the specific rotation of any of the solution. Okay, so this will be the arrangement. Whatever is the sample, that will change the angle of rotation of the light waves. Okay, so here first you people have to take the measurements with respect to water, with respect to sugar. Okay, how to perform the measurements and all that I am not going to discuss over here, because the performance part when we do in actual, that is little bit different, and on virtual lab it is little bit different. So we are not going to talk about this all that things. Just in the simulation part you will get all the values, and you will get to know what will be the specific rotation of the sugar solution. Okay, so up to this particular
Okay, ma'am.
portion, is that things clear to you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So if things are clear to you, then I'll go to the virtual lab of this particular practical. Okay, is the screen visible to all of you? Is the screen visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So what I'll do, already I have given the link in that PDF file, but then also I am going to post this particular link in the chat section. So after our discussion you can proceed for the simulation. Okay, so what you need to do over here, here the link is provided, here the optical rotation of sugars, this is the title, experiment to determine the specific rotation of different sugar samples, it is provided. So first if you click on the know your instrument, then you will get this particular image. You can zoom into this particular image, click here. So this is the polarimeter basically here you will get the source of light, then at this particular place there will be the lens and nickel prism, then this compartment here, whatever structure you can see, there will be the tube containing solution. Before the tube containing solution, here there will be the half shaded plate. Of course, lens, then polarizer and half shaded plate you people can't see, that will be in the internal part. Only you can open this particular portion where you need to keep the sugar solution or water containing tube one by one. Okay. Another analyzer and circular scale you can observe at the other side. Here the eyepieces are provided through which you can see how is the half shaded plate and how light is coming through the optically active solution. Okay. So here it is written, click the red button to switch on the light source of the parameter. So I will click on that. Okay. So basically light source here can be, which is used over here, is the sodium light with this much amount of wavelength. Now if you want to open the sample chamber, here is the sample chamber where the tube is kept. So we can open that sample chamber. So here you can see this sample chamber is open and you can see whatever is the light generated by the source, that is passing through the compartment. Okay, so same light you can see through the telescope. Now when this light is passes through this source to this eyepiece, that light is passing through that half shaded plate. Okay, and how is the half shaded plate? It is having half portions covered with silver material and half portion glass as it is. So whenever light will pass through half shaded plate, what kind of image you will get at the eyepiece? That will be a circle which is having half portion bright, half portion dark. Because we know through the silver material there will be a reflection of light waves, only small amount of light will get passed through it, and whatever is the glass portion, that will emit the light, that will transmit the light as it is. Okay, so silver portion, its reflection, dark reflection you will get through the eyepiece, and the reflection of that glass portion, transmission of the light through glass portion, that you will see through the eyepiece. Okay, so these are the things that are related to the instrument. Is there any doubt up to this? Are you there in? Yes.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Now, due to some problem, I have left with the site. Now what to do? We have seen how is the polarimeter. Now we have to proceed for the experiment. Okay. So here in the shelves several solutions are kept. You can select any of the solutions. Suppose we will go for the second number bottle. Okay. So here we have taken a sample number 2. We have to enter what should be the concentration of that solution. Okay, so any of the value you can put over here, that is up to you. Okay, so while performing this particular practical, you have to mention what concentration you are going to give for the sugar solution. Suppose here I put 0.5. Okay, so the concentration that I have selected is the sugar solution. It is having the concentration 0.5 ml. Okay, means in 100 ml water there will be 5 grams of the sugar material. Okay, so like that we have created the sugar solution over here. Next to that we have to select what will be the size of the tube. Okay, so two options are there. Either you can take the tube having 8 centimeter length or 10 centimeter length. Okay, so here I will put 10 centimeter. Okay, so we have to select the tube. Now here you will get to know what is the view that you can see through the telescope. Before that, here some instructions are provided. Go through the instructions. what you need to do, that will be provided over here. Just I'll give you where to take the measurement. Okay, so basically, as I said, what you will get in the eyepiece, you will get whatever is the light generated by the source that you can see through the telescope. Okay, now how is the functioning of polarimeter? Whatever light gets generated, first that will pass through the polarizer, so we will get polarized light at the as an output of the polarizer. Then that light passes through some half shaded plate. So basically here what you will get, you can see the half dark half bright portion of the half shaded plate. Okay, so here this will be the situation, ideal situation, where the half portion, say it is dark one, half portion it is a bright one. Okay, so when light passes through half shaded plate, you will get such kind of view through the eyepiece. Then we are passing that light through optically active solution. What will happen due to optically active solution? There will be some change in the rotation of the angle. So that change we have to note down. Whenever that light passes through optically active substance, what amount of change is occurred for the solution with respect to angle of rotation, that we have to calculate over here. Okay, so that you can calculate with the help of analyzer provided at this particular end. Okay, so how to do that thing, that I am going to tell you, but before that, is there any problem with respect to this thing, whatever I
No,
have
ma'am.
explained?
No, no.
Now, where to take the measurement? As I said, first you have to see this particular condition, half dark, half bright. Okay, of course, we are passing light through half shaded plate, so you will get this particular situation. Now you have to move the analyzer with the help of this particular knob. Here you can see a knob is provided. Now with respect to this knob, where to switch that knob? Either clockwise direction you have to move, or either anti-clockwise direction you have to move. That can be decided with the help of these two switches, plus minus. Minus means you are rotating it in an anti-clockwise direction, plus means you are rotating it in a clockwise direction. Okay, with how much amount of change you have to move the analyzer, that is also provided here. You have to have the difference of 1 degree movement you need to do, or you need to do 5 degree movement, or you need to do 10 degree movement. That is provided over here. Okay, so we will take this I degree movement over here. Now here whatever is the view, first arrange this particular view, then click on say plus button and see a condition where you will get the complete intensity over the entire circle. Okay, this is the step that you have to follow. First arrange this state where half dark half portion will be there, then you have to click on the plus knob. Now you will see whatever is the white portion, that is having some amount of color right now. Okay, so if you press this button again and again, you will see that whatever is the white portion, that is now colored one, and there will be one particular stage where you will see the complete intensity over the entire circle. Now you can't discriminate where is the darker portion, where is the brighter portion. Both the parts of that circle are having the equal intensity now. So whatever is the angle where you can get the two portions completely bright, that angle you have to measure, you have to note down. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am.
say 10 degree is the angle provided over here, so note down theta is equal to 10. Already you have provided the concentration and length of the tube, means you are now having the theta, you are having the C, and you are having the length. Okay, so based upon these three values you can calculate the specific rotation. So whatever is the answer, that you are going to note down with respect to yes. So this is the simple procedure. Okay, so if you click on
Yes,
the
ma'am.
answer, of course you will get certain one question will be appeared in this particular slide. We are not going to talk about this because whatever are the sample, depending upon that they have mentioned what is the name of the solution. So whatever answer you have got as yes is equal to, so depending upon that you can give the answer over here. If the answer you got is in this particular range, then you can say the sample is of sucrose or maltose. Okay, so suppose if you have got this much amount of concentration, specific rotation, then you can say that particular sample you have got. Okay, or whatever sample you have selected, that is the solution of say glucose, sucrose or maltose, whatever it may be. Okay, so this is the procedure for practical number 2, that is nothing but Lorentz half-shade polarimeter. Already questions are provided on the Genome site. You can refer, first you can go for the simulation and then you can have the calculations. Okay, then you have to provide the answers in the manual, lab manual. Now before you people go for the measurement, just I would like to share one thing with all of you, that on the Genome site, while assessing the practicals provided by you, I get to know certain points that I have to share with all of you. One thing that I have observed is you people, as you are from the computer science background or you are having that particular branch of your study, you people try to depend on the copy paste procedure. Okay, so copy pasting is in a high amount with respect to your submissions. Okay, so I don't know, means I have not taken that calculations, I have not done that calculations, but this is one observation that one student complete the calculations and all that things and another student just copy paste all that things. So whatever is the first person, if that commits some mistake, that mistakes goes on continuing for each and every student. So I have observed there are certain groups. So one group, in that one will be the leader and others will be the followers. Same will be the same is applicable for other group. So don't do copy and pasting. Even though you copy paste something, try to apply your logic at that point. Okay, so that reduction in the marks will not be there. So basically I'll show this to you. Just a second. With respect to Zener diode practical, what I have observed, most of the students, they have not completed the practical in a real manner. Okay, so I'll go for say this practical. Okay, who is this? Sayyid Maruf Ali. Okay, so basically what he has done, he has provided incorrect result and graph is also missing. Okay, so whatever files he has submitted, so many files, but actual things as not submitted over here. Hey, I think he has changed the file. Okay, so no problem. If you have submitted, resubmitted the files, just let me know so that I can re-evaluate the things and try to give the proper answers. Okay, this I would like to mention because this I have observed for so many students. Here in the observation table, you have written the values for reverse bias at 6, 6.6, 6.8 and 7. Okay, so for 6.6 voltage, the current that you have got is 0.8. Is that correct? Are you people are in the meeting? Can you people see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so this I have observed for so many files that values are like this. For 6.6 voltage, current is 0.8 milliampere. Okay, now here in the result section I have asked forward resistance of Zener diode found to be. No one has provided the answer over here. Okay, this is the second number point where you have to take any of the value where you can observe the non-zero current. So say voltage is 7 volt, respective current is 0.8 milliampere. So with this V and with this I, you have to calculate the resistance. Okay, so formula is simple, R is equal to V by I, and whatever are the calculations, answer you have to provide over here. Okay, so that answer nobody has provided because copy paste is done. Next to that, here it is asked, mention the Zener breakdown voltage. So basically Zener breakdown voltage is the point with which you can get conduction in the circuit. Okay, so if you see the graph, I'll go to the graph portion. Okay, so that value you can take from the observation table or from the graph. So here you can see up to 6 there is 0 amount of current, and here you can see a point through which the start of getting current is there. Okay, so whatever is the point, that point will be the Zener breakdown voltage. Whatever is the voltage at that point, that is nothing but the Zener breakdown voltage, and that will be this value. Okay, so 6.6 is the Zener breakdown voltage that is expected to put over here, but all of you has mentioned some different value over here. Okay, so at 6 volt there is 0 amount of current, so you can't say 6 volt is the Zener breakdown voltage. Actually Zener breakdown voltage is 6.6 volt, and with respect to Zener breakdown voltage, whatever is the current, that is Zener breakdown current. So here what value you can see on the screen with respect to Zener voltage?
0.8.
And what is written over here? Both are similar or different? Where is Sayyid? I would like to ask this question to Sayyid Maruf Ali. Sayyid, whatever answer you have provided, that is correct or wrong? Is he present in the meeting?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Ma'am, he can't talk.
He can't talk. Okay. He can see, he can hear me. Then whatever answer provided by Sayyid Maruf Ali, see Sayyid, I am not having any thing opposite to you. Just I have taken the example over here. I have seen your name at first. Of course, I can't take any girl student submission over here because girls are having some sensitive issue. So that's why I have selected your file over here. Don't take any otherwise, just I want to show you that you people have done such kind of mistakes. Don't do such kind of mistakes afterwards. Okay, even you people are having chance to resubmit the files so that you will get full marks over here. See, I am not your any opponent, or I am not your any dushman kind of thing. I want that you all will get good marks in the course that I am teaching. Okay, so whatever mistakes I am correcting over here, that are just for your benefit. Okay, so those who have done, who have carried out such kind of blunders, try to remove all that things and try to provide new files with less amount of errors. Okay, so that I want to communicate to all of you. So you can see most of the students have done such kind of things. Even for this file results are incorrect. So whatever comments I have given, try to resolve all that comments. Okay, so with respect to Zener diode, I think only 1 or 2 students I have seen provided the correct answer. Even I have observed that with respect to observation also, you people have committed the mistakes. Just a second. Okay, so basically what we have calculated, if that images are not with you, I'll share that images separately, but whatever voltmeter in forward bias is there, it's whatever list count is provided, that is correct. But for both the millimeters, list count was 0.25 milliampere. Okay, and here the list count of voltmeter which is in the reverse bias, the list count was 0.2 volt. Okay, so most of the students, they have done a mistake in this particular area. So again I'll suggest, I'll share the images, again go through the meters, see the scale and try to resolve the blunders related to the observations if I have given such kind of comment over there. Okay, so now I can't show you all the submissions, but you can see your submission, what mistakes you have done over there, that you can see. So according to that, do the corrections in your lab manual, and then when you will ask to me, madam, I have done the correction, I'm going to give you the extension on the Genomio site, but that I'll do personally. I will not open the site, or I will not I'm not going to give the extension for all of you, because I want that response from you people. Yes madam, I have made the correction, whatever points you have provided to me. According to that, I am ready to submit the new file, then only I'll sanction the extension. Okay,
Yes,
is that
ma'am.
clear to all of you?
Okay, ma'am.
Is that
Yes,
clear
ma'am.
to Sayyid Maruf Ali? He can post in the chat box. Sayyid Maruf Ali. Okay. Okay. So we are having 15 minutes time. I'll give that time to you. Now you go for the measurements. First go for the reverberation time calculation, then go for the Lorentz half shade colorimeter, or if you want to have vice versa, you can go. So whatever suits you, do that practical at first and then go for the next practical. After this, what you people are going to do, in the EP discussion group, you are going to post the reverberation time related values that you have calculated and specific rotation that you have calculated over there. Okay, just put your roll number and both the values, both the answers, and then whenever you will get time, you can complete the procedure on the lab manual. Okay, is there any problem in this?
No, ma'am.
Okay, and at 5:15 you have to give the exam on Zener diode. Okay, so whatever is the portion of Zener diode, recall all that portion so that you will get full marks in the test. Okay, so if you are having any problem, you can ask here, otherwise you may leave the meeting, but before that, just a second, I would like to take the attendance. Is there any doubt from your side with respect to both the practicals?
No, ma'am.
Okay, just a second. Then see, first practical I think corrected for most of the students. Second and third practical I am going to assess maybe tomorrow. So according to that, if you are having any correction, you can resubmit the files. Okay. Just a second.
Okay.
I'm not getting the proper attendance over here. So just a minute. No, it is not possible. So I will go for the conventional method, and according to that only I will take the attendance. Just a second. Or just a second. Okay, roll number 1,
Present, ma'am.
2,
Ma'am, only roll number 2, 16 and 22 are absent.
yes,
Only roll number 2, 16 and 22 are absent.
roll number 2,
16 and 22.
15 present.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 16 absent. Then
22.
22.
okay. Okay. Was 22 absent for the previous lecture or was he there? Roll number 22.
Ma'am, still she was not there.
I can't get Prachi. You can text me. Okay, no problem. I have noted roll number 2, 16 and 22 are absent. Rest of the students are present over here. Okay. So if you are having
Yes,
no problem, you may leave the meeting, and by leaving the meeting, you are going to perform the measurements. Okay. So don't waste the time. Before 5:15, complete all the procedures and then give the test. All the best for the test and measurements. You may leave the meeting. Thank you. Thank you all of you.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you, ma'am.
Bye.
Thank you,
to all.
ma'am.
Welcome.
मैम
Yes, Prachi.
मैम वो आपने एग्जाम की फीस का डाला था ना कुछ, तो वो हमको अभी करना पड़ेगा क्या?
Once result get declared.
ओके, रिजल्ट आने के बाद में हमको करना पड़ेगा.
Today I have seen.
Ma'am, through ERP mode.
Yes. Through
Through ERP we have to pay.
Through ERP you have to pay the fees, and today's exam is also through ERP. So log in ERP system. You will see the
For fees, ma'am?
for fees also you have to follow the ERP procedure. If you feel
Ma'am, quiz and on Genome or ERP?
quiz on ERP. Okay, I'll post it in a
Okay.
chat box. Quiz is on ERP. Today's quiz, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you may leave the meeting if you are having no problem.
ओके मैम, थैंक यू मैम.
Welcome.